Todd.
Now to the Middle East. The Trump administration is preparing to unveil what they're calling the economic asphyxiation of the Iranian regime through a new wave of secondary sanctions.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst joins us live from Tel Aviv with the details. Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. On Monday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced Operation Economic Outcast, a U.S. effort to isolate the Iranian regime.
The actions of Treasury and other agencies will tighten the noose and block every potential source of revenue that funds the IRGC and the evil Iranian regime. And let me be clear, any entity that facilitates money laundering on behalf of Iran will be removed from the U.S. dollar system. The clock just started ticking.
Among the new sanctions includes an expanded list of secondary sanctions targeting digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and shipping. In addition, the Treasury Department sanctioned nearly 60 entities, individuals, and vessels in multiple jurisdictions. The actions go after what the department describes as a network of shadow fleet vessels operating across many different countries. Iranian officials threatened retaliation to the economic measures, with the country's foreign ministry spokesperson saying this.
Any complicity with the United States in carrying out its aggressive actions against Iran will certainly have consequences. Even now, the naval blockade of Iran amounts to an act of aggression. Any escalation of this situation will undoubtedly bring about consequences of its own.
Early this morning, another tanker was struck in the Strait of Hormuz with an unknown projectile while transiting the U.S.-approved southern route. The vessel had damage caused to its engine room and was disabled. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth warned Iran against taking further provocative action on Monday. We're also tracking a number of other developments in the region, including a decision by the United States to remove Syria from a state-sponsored list of terrorism. Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara responded, said his country is focused on rebuilding and redevelopment. Guys?
Okay, Trey Yingst live for us. Thank you, Trey. And we're going to bring in former NSC Chief of Staff under President Trump, Alex Gray. Alex, thanks for coming on to talk about this. So basically what the administration's plan is to bring Iran to its knees, both economically as well as with, threatening military strikes. Is this going to be enough to get Tehran to just lay down and say, okay, enough is enough?
Well, I think it's actually going to be a really significant piece of finally forcing the Iranian regime to recognize reality. And the reality is that they have limited cards to play. They've pushed their people to the brink of collapse. And there's really not much more that they can do realistically to counter the United States. What President Trump has understood here, and he has a very sophisticated understanding of history, is that the United States consistently wins wars when we use not just our battlefield capabilities, we use our economic prowess as well. We did it in the Civil War, we did it in World War II, we did it in the Cold War, and we're going to use our market power, the fact that everyone in the world wants access to U.S. banks, U.S. currency, U.S. commodities imports. They want access to the United States, and that is an ultimate tool we have to compel Iran to finally recognize the reality of their situation.
Right. And I keep bringing this up because I think it's a very important thing to bring up. But you have the complete other issue of who in the world is even in charge in Tehran and who is making these decisions. I've said this countless times. I know a lot of people have, and that is obviously an issue that that people are honing in on. But my question is, how could this affect the world economy? Obviously, we have to end this war. This has to stop. It has to stop. But is this going to affect the U.S. in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I agree with you completely, and I think the president, as much as anyone, wants to bring this war to a conclusion. He's accomplished most of his objectives, and using our overwhelming economic power is a great way and a historically sound way to bring it to a conclusion. I think the way that this is going to play out from an economic perspective on Americans and on the United States really more has to do with how our trading partners and how countries like China and India and others are going to react. And ultimately, we've heard a lot of speculation. Will the Chinese follow through on this? Will they actually listen to what the president and Secretary Bessent are saying? The Chinese government's not going to actually stand up and say, we're going to comply with this. But individual Chinese companies are going to make a very clear decision. They're going to decide, do you want to be with the Iranians, a collapsing, decrepit regime that offers nothing, or do you want to maintain access to the United States market, to the dollar, to the U.S. financial system? And I think besides all the rhetoric and the posturing, companies all over the world, including Chinese ones, are going to make a very clear decision here.
Yeah, China might be our adversary, but money is always top of mind for them, and you cannot forget that. Alex, Trey, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.